Welcome to Neo Royal, House of Pricey Cardboard. On today's episode of Commander Gameplay, we are joined by Fitz once again and his friend Stevie, aka McScreamy. You can find Screamy in the death metal band Inferi. He also recently did the voice for Codofed in our last episode. As for Fitz, you can find him on Twitch most Sundays in the Arena of the Ancients, streaming some great EDH games. Screamy brought his Zada deck to the match. Zada is always a terrifying commander. With a couple of rituals and by copying cantrips on a board of goblin tokens, this deck can go really fast and hit really hard. Fitz is playing his mono-black partner elf deck. Running mostly black elves from Kaldheim, we have a couple of older Lorwyn synergies as well as some mono-black good stuff to help push the deck forward. Looking at his list online, I noticed he is now running Tevejzat as the second partner instead of Miara. Kelly is playing her pet deck, Ghoulcaller Gisa, our third mono-black deck of the night. This deck is looking to sacrifice high-powered creatures and turn them into a lot of zombies, which can then close the game with anthems. Kelly is running 3 or 4 new cards from Midnight Hunt, so I'm quite surprised she managed to fit that many in her deck. Gotta love the synergy with Champion of the Perished. For myself, I figured we would need some blue in this pod, so I brought my Kumena Tyrant of Orazca. Looking to play Merfolks and permanents that tap for more than 1 mana, I will try and do some tap and untap shenanigans. Combat and commander damage are also very much an option with this list. Stevie's opening hand contains Birgi, God of Storytelling, Swift Foot Boots, Tectonic Reformation, Battle Hymn, Buried Ruin, Nykthos Shrine to Nyx, and a Castle and Bereth. Fitz's opening hand contains Metallic Mimic, Diabolic Intent, Feed the Swarm, Ashes to Ashes, Arcane Signet, Cabal Stronghold, and a basic Swamp. Kelly's opening hand contains Chaos Ghost Form, Dreadhorde Invasion, Expedition Map, Cabal Coffers, and 3 basic Swamps. My opening hand contains Thieving Skydiver, Master of the Pearl Trident, Realm Walker, Aetherize, Simic Growth Chamber, a basic island, and a basic forest. This episode, as all of our content, is brought to you by our amazing supporters on Patreon. If you want to help the channel for free, make sure you subscribe and share one of our videos with a friend. Stevie gets to start this off, and land drops a Castle and Bereth. Kelly land drops a Swamp and casts Expedition Map. Fitz land drops a Cabal Stronghold, while I land drop an island, ending turn 1. Stevie land drops a mountain. He casts a pair of Swiftfoot Boots. Kelly land drops a Swamp, and casts Dreadhorde Invasion. Fitz land drops a Swamp as well, and casts Arcane Signet. I land drop a Forest, and cast Blackblade Reforged.
Gonna play a Blackblade Reforge.
Nice.
Oh, salai!
I will pass.
Stevie land drops a mountain. He then casts Birgi, God of Storytelling, which you should not worry about. Kelly amassed 1 at the upkeep.
I like how the double boast ability never comes up.
Well, they just playing a lot of boast cards.
As I was reading that, I was like, what even is the second part of this card?
Yeah. It's like cast a spell, make a red, good.
She land drops a Swamp and casts Death Baron. Fitz land drops a Swamp. He casts a Metallic Mimic, naming Elf. He then casts one of his partners, Miara, Thorn of the Glade.
Shh, I'm only here to give access to black.
I land drop a Forest and cast Realm Walker, naming Merfolks. Stevie land drops a Nykthos Shrine to Nyx and casts his commander, Zada, Hedron Grinder.
There's a word for someone who brings too much gear to battle. Survivor.
Birgi generates a red mana, and Stevie uses it to equip the boots on Zada. It resolves. Kelly amassed 1 at the upkeep. She casts Cold Clamp. She then cracks the expedition map for Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth, playing it for turn. She equips the Skull Clamp on the army token and pass. Fitz land drops a Swamp. He casts Curtain's Call, destroying Death Baron and Birgi. On my turn, I cast my commander, Kumena, Tyrant of Orazca.
The same power that drives the river ever onward flows through the roots and branches. To me.
After that, I land drop a Simic Growth Chamber and pass. Stevie casts Tectonic Reformation. He cycles a mountain and land drops a buried ruin for turn. He then passes. Kelly land drops Cabal Coffers.
Oof. Very nice.
Big oof.
I was finding it sketchy that you were going for Urborg on the map. I was like, that's suspicious.
Heading into combat, she sends the 4-2 army to Fitz. In second main, Kelly casts her commander, Ghoulcaller Gisa.
Oh, wake up, my lovelies! There's work to be done!
She enchants her with a Chaos Ghost form and pass. Fitz then drops another swamp and casts his second partner, Nadier, Agent of Duskanel.
We all give a part of ourselves for the greater good.
I land up a forest and cast Thieving Skydiver, paying 2 for the kicker cost and stealing the Swiftfoot boots off of Zada. I pay 1 to equip them to Kumena.
That was a pretty seamless transition there between Screamy and Neil.
Should have went for the off screen.
Yeah, you should have.
TV asks the question you never want to hear: how many cards in hand? He casts Jessica's Will. I have 5 cards in hand, so the spell generates 5 red mana and exile his top 3. He casts Mugwar Marshal. He then casts Wandering Archaic and shifts the turn to Kelly. Kelly amasses at the upkeep. She starts with combat, attacking Stevie with the army token. The Marshal creates a Goblin Undead. In second main, Kelly casts Heraldic Banner. Fitz land drops a Bajika Bug, exiling Kelly's graveyard. He casts Diabolic Intent.
Are you going to pay the extra for that?
Please do.
Yeah.
Just so you know, you can totally not.
I could totally just let you want it, Duder. But I think I'm gonna pay the 2.
He sacrifices Nadier to the cost, creating 4 elves. He also pays the 1 to Miara to draw a card. At the end step, I tap 3 Merfolks to draw a card as well. On my turn, I cast Seedborn Muse.
Oof.
Oh no, not that
Hey.
card. Oh my god.
Philippe, we're all friends here. You didn't have to go play Seed for the news.
Just gonna draw, it's fine.
I tap 3 Merfolks and draw a card. I then pass, untapping with Stevie. Stevie casts Fist of Flames. Zada triggers and copy it for the other 3 creatures.
Man, I really wish I still had Birgi right about now.
I think there's a reason why she's dead.
Yeah, it scared me.
He land drops a mountain and casts Battle Hymn for 4 mana. He then casts Finally of Promise, casting Fist of Flames 4 times again. He casts Iron Mirror.
They have trample though.
They do have trample.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, Fist of Flame gives them
Also gives them trample.
gives them trample. Yeah.
That's way worse than I thought it was. Okay.
Yep. Same.
Going to combat, 2 Goblin tokens attack me. They are 14 and 11 in power.
Your safe swings have turned my answers into questionable choices.
Yeah, at first I was like, I'm just gonna swing in with everything on someone, but then I reread Fists of Flame and realized it only enabled their power and not their toughness.
I draw a card by tapping 3 Merfolks and cast Aetherize. Stevie discards each shimmer to end size and pass. Kelly amasses at the upkeep. She casts Crypt Ghast, followed by a Cemetery Reaper. She then goes to combat, sending the army to Stevie. With 8 power, it now has lifelink. At Kelly's end step, I draw a card. Fitz land drops a Phyrexian Tower.
Just so you know, if you need to cast an instant or a sorcery to destroy a permanent, if you don't pay for Wandering Archaic, I won't point Wandering Archaic at your direction at all.
Yeah, does that still apply when I target Wandering Archaic?
I mean, if you're targeting Wandering Archaic, it might be a different story. But if you're trying to get rid of Seedborn Muse,
Well, I'm trying to do both.
He casts Ashes to Ashes to exile Seedborn Muse and Wandering Archaic. He does not pay the 2, so Stevie gets a copy of it. He targets Realm Walker and Cryptghast. I draw a card in reaction. Kelly sacrifices Cryptghast to Gisa, creating 2 zombies. The removal then resolves. Fitz casts Animate Dead, bringing back Nadier. He goes into combat, sending 4 2/2 elves to Kelly. In second main, Fitz sacrifices Nadier to Ferguson Tower, creating more tokens. He casts Scamfar Shadow Mage. Entering the battlefield, we lose 10 life. Satisfied, he pass. I cast Soul Ring. I follow it up with the Tatiova Benthic Druid, and land drop a Myriad Landscape, drawing a card. I discard Return of the Wild Speaker to Endsize.
Oh my god, Fitz, I'm a stupid head.
Yeah, I was like, you have 4 3s. Why don't you play?
I forgot there were 4 3s. I thought they just had this. I forgot I had this guy.
Alright, well, how many tapped lands does everyone have?
Oh god,
4.
I got it. I got 4 as well.
I have 7.
Fitz, no.
I'm sorry.
Stevie casts Mana Geyser, creating 15 red mana. He casts Kikijiki Mirror Breaker. He then casts Siege Gang Commander. After that, he casts Thorbrand, Thane of Red Fell.
You're back to being the problem, Screamy.
I'm trying. You guys are taking my board away.
It's a Zada deck. There's only 2 speed. It's either doing nothing or it's winning.
No, that's the speed of fucking light.
Nothing or a lot.
He cycles 3 lands to the Tectonic Reformation. He then casts Expedite, targeting Zada. This creates 7 copies of the spell. He casts Sudden Breakthrough, creating 8 treasures from the copies.
Cast 6 spells this turn.
Uh-oh.
That's never good.
Now we're worried about the storm count.
Stevie casts Empty the Warren. With a storm count of 7, he creates 14 goblins. He casts Uncanny Speed. And finally, a Curse of Opulence on me. Going into combat, he thinks about his attacks. Sends 9 4/1 goblins to me, dealing 36 even with blocks. While 5 4/1s, 3 6/1s, and the Siege Gang Commander go to Fitz. Fitz blocks with his board and takes 24. In second main, Stevie taps Kikijiki to get a token Siege Gang Commander, which creates 3 more goblins. He equips the boots back to his original owner and pass. Kelly amass at the upkeep. She land drops her own Nyctos Shrine to Nyx.
I took a gamble on your Mana Geyser and I lost the gamble.
That should not have resolved.
But at the same time, I thought like Fitz did a lot of damage to us and maybe he won't get both token and ace and pump. So I was like,
Mana Geyser.
Cards last turn. Like I mean, he had.
Well, if he didn't have the treasure one, we were fine. It's because he had the Mana Geyser and the treasure one, then it was a problem.
Mana Geyser was kind of a gamble for me because I drew into Expedite by cycling my lands. If I would have not drawn that to continuously draw a bunch of cards, like I would have just fizzled out there.
Yeah, that's how I felt. That's why I was like, I'll take a gamble in it and I'll have my swan song if either Kelly or Fitz try to do something else, because otherwise I would have been just tapped out ready to get taken out.
Screamy, do you have something that flies?
I do not. I don't have flying right now.
She casts Eldrazi Monument, granting flying to her creatures. For a combat step, she sends the army token and 2 zombies to Stevie, while a zombie and Cemetery Reaper go to Fitz, which is pretty much Xaxes. Reacting to attackers, Stevie cycles a land to Tectonic Reformation.
Cycle a mountain?
Yeah.
Draw a card? Fuck. Yeah, I'm dead.
Yeah, I know.
Good game.
That was intense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna gain like 10 life up of that. I don't know why you were like. I can see that the untapping of stuff is good for the Kumena deck, but I still don't understand why you were targeting Phil that much because he had really a slow game. I was definitely more threatening. At least my
You didn't really have a lot of creatures till like the last turn there.
Yeah.
Though, Kelly.
Yeah, I was stumbling on blue because I had really good cards in hand, but this deck is heavy blue and I had like 4 forests, so this was clunky.
I hate when that happens. My Simic deck's the same way. It's like all blue cards, and then you're like,
That's why I
only green lands.
But at the same time, it's the first time we play with Screamy, so gauging deck is harder when you don't know the deck that's good. That's why I didn't counter the Mana Geyser, because I looked at your board and I looked at Fitz and I was like, if he doesn't win now, they're winning. So like either we live through the Mana Geyser or I need the counter spell for the other two.
Did you have the Swan Song?
Yeah.
And he only made 15 mana, so it wasn't like...
No, it wasn't like 40.
It wasn't like 30 mana of Mana Geyser where you're like, oh, the game's over if that resolved.
Yeah.
Maybe he lived through it, you never know.
Well played. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Make sure to check out Fitz and Stevie on Twitter. Take care and we'll see you very soon.